Hello everyone, this is Aparna Shetty, Assistant Professor, Department of CSE, AG Institute of Engineering and Technology. Let us continue with Module 4, that is Classification, from the subject Data Mining and Warehousing. Okay, so let us study. We have in the previous video lecture we have finished about the rule-based classifier, right? Let us go through the next type of classifier, which is nearest neighbor classifier. Okay, so let us begin. So the topics covered in this video lecture is eager learners versus lazy learners. Okay, nearest neighbor classifiers, that is the KNN algorithm, okay, K nearest neighbor algorithm, and the K nearest neighbor examples. Okay, so let us go through each of these topics in detail. First topic is eager learners versus lazy learners. Okay, so the classification framework involves a two-step process. Okay, so classification is a two-step process. Basically, the two steps are, first step is the inductive step. Okay, first step is an inductive step. This step is used for constructing a classification model from the data. Okay, so the task of classification involves two steps. The first step is the inductive step. Okay, and in this step we will be constructing the classification model from the given data. The second step is a deductive step. Okay, so the second step is a deductive step. Once we have constructed the model, next step, that is in the deductive step, we will be applying the model to test the examples. Okay, so the classification framework involves two steps. First step, inductive step, which is used for constructing a classification model, and the second step, deductive step, which is used for applying the model to test the examples. Okay, now first type of learners, that is eager learners. Now let us see what is this eager learners. Decision tree and rule-based classifiers are examples of eager learners. Okay, so we have already studied about decision tree, as well as we have studied about rule-based classifiers, right? So these are the examples of eager learners. Because now why they are called as eager learners? Because they are designed to learn a model that maps the input attributes to the class label as soon as the training data becomes available. So as soon as the training data becomes available, okay, they will construct the model. So as soon as the training data becomes available, they will construct the model to map the input attributes to a given class label. Okay, so that was about eager learners. Okay, they will construct the model as soon as the training data becomes available. Okay, in order to map the input attributes to the given class label. Next type of learners are lazy learners. Lazy learners delay the process of modeling the training data until it is needed to classify the test examples. Okay, so until it is really required to classify the test examples, okay, they will not do any modeling. Okay, they will not do any modeling of the training data unless and until it is only required to classify the test examples. Examples of lazy learners are K nearest neighbor classification, which we will be studying in this video lecture. Okay, so basically two types of learners, eager learners and lazy learners. Okay, let me consider one more example for your understanding. So there are two categories of students. One category is eager learners and one more category is lazy learners. Okay, so eager learners, what they will do is well in hand. So before itself they will go through the syllabus. Okay, they they'll try to understand the concepts, okay, and they'll try to be thorough with the subjects before in hand. Okay, the next categories of students, whereas lazy learners, what they will do, just the previous day of the exam, tomorrow is the exam, today they will start going through the concepts. Okay, those are called as lazy learners. Okay, so that was just an example for your understanding. So decision trees and rule based classifiers are eager learners, because they will construct the model as soon as they get the training data, and then they will classify the class labels. Okay, and lazy learners, they will not construct the model unless and until it is required to classify the test examples. Examples of lazy learners are k nearest neighbor classification. Okay, so that was about eager learners versus lazy learners. Next topic is instance-based classifier. So let us see what is this instance-based classifiers. Okay, first let us see this definition of instance-based classifier. Instance-based classifier is a supervised classification learning algorithm that performs the operations after comparing the current instances with the previously trained instances, okay, which have been stored in memory. Okay, so instance based classification, okay, is a classification learning algorithm. It performs the classification only after comparing the current instances with previously trained instances which have been stored in memory. Okay, so first what it will do is, here in instance based classifier, first it will store the set of training records in memory. Okay, now when a new record is appears, okay, or when an unseen case or when a new record appears, now it will compare the attributes of this new case with the already stored cases in the memory. Okay, it will compare the attributes of this unseen case with the attributes of the records that are stored in the memory. Okay, and only after it compares, then only it will assign the class label. Based on that comparison, it will assign the class label of the unseen cases. Okay, so first it will store the training records in memory, and next it will use this training records to predict the class label of unseen cases. So in instance based learning, okay, it will perform the operation after comparing this unseen case attribute values, okay, with the attribute values of the previously stored records. Okay, only because with that comparison it can predict the class label of this unseen case also. Okay, so that was about instance based classifier. Examples of instance based classifier is, first one is rote learner. Okay, this, what is this rote learner? Rote learner memorizes the entire training data and performs classification only if the attributes of a test instance match one of the training examples exactly. Okay, so this, first it will memorize all the training data, okay, and then it will perform the classification if and only if the attributes of the training instance match one of the training examples exactly. So if and only if there is a perfect match, okay, with the test instance and the training examples, okay, if and only if there is a perfect match between the test instance and the training examples, then only it will perform the classification. Okay, so that is about rote learner. Next classifier is nearest neighbor classifier. So the nearest neighbor uses k closest points for performing classification. So it will perform the classification based on the k nearest neighbors. Okay, so two types of instance based classifier, rote learner and nearest neighbor classifier. In rote learner, only if there is a perfect match between the attributes of the test instance and the attributes of the training examples, then only it will classifies. In nearest neighbor, it will use the k closest points or the k nearest neighbors for performing the classification. So based on the nearest neighbors, okay, it will perform the classification. So we will be studying about this nearest neighbor classifier in detail. Okay, let us understand the basic idea of nearest neighbor classifier. So it is based on this basic idea. If it walks like a duck, okay, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, okay, then it is probably a duck. So if it is almost similar to its neighbors, then you will classify with the class of its neighbors. Okay, so that is the basic idea of nearest neighbor. So if it almost looks similar, okay, to if its attributes is almost similar to its neighbors, then you will classify it with the class label of its neighbors. Okay, so k nearest neighbors is a simple algorithm that stores all the available cases. Okay, so it stores all the previous records and stores new cases based on the similarity measure. Okay, so the similarity measure over here is distance. Okay, for example, now these are the training records, okay, and this is the test record. Okay, now you want to classify this test record based on the previously stored training records. Okay, so in the training records you have hen, you have cock, you have duck, you have swan, etc. So the different types of birds you have over here. Okay, so these are the training records, and you want to classify this new test record to which class it belongs, whether it is a cock, whether it is a swan, whether it is a chick, or whether it is a hen, or whether it is a duck you want to classify. Okay, now first you will compute the distance between these training records and the test record. So you will measure the distance, okay, between this test record and the test record, and this training record you will you will measure the distance. Okay, this and the test record. Next you will compute the distance between this training record and the test record, and finally with this. Okay, now which is the nearest record? Okay, so this is the nearest, right? Suppose if this is the nearest, then it will assign the class label of this record to the test record. Suppose if the class label of this record is duck, okay, suppose if the class label of this record is duck, okay, so the similarity measure is distance, which is the closest to this test record. This is the closest, so you will assign the class label of this training record to the test record. That is, you will assign the class label as duck. Okay, so this was about the nearest neighbor classifier. You have a given set of training records and you want to classify the test record. Okay, so you will compute the distance between each of the record in the training set with the test record. Okay, and the nearest neighbor's class label you will assign it to the test data class. Okay, so this is the basic concepts of nearest neighbor classifier. So if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, then it's probably a duck. Okay, so if it is almost similar, if the attributes are almost matching, then you will classify it to its class label. Okay, next, nearest neighbor classifier. Now here they have given this red dot, right? So this is the record, unknown record whom you want to classify. Okay, and these are the other records, okay, other training records. All this plus minus are the class labels of the other training records, and this is the red dot over here is the unknown record whom you want to classify. Okay, so let us see how this classifier works. So this classifier requires three things. Okay, it requires the set of labeled records. So these are the set of labeled records, right? We can see the different labeled records. Next, it requires the distance metric to compute the distance between the records. So you require a set of labeled records, right? Next, you require a distance metric to compute the distance between the records. And finally, you need the value of k. Okay, that is the number of nearest neighbors to retrieve. So how many nearest neighbors to retrieve? Okay, so these three things are required. Now next is how we have to classify an unknown record. How to classify an unknown record? Okay, first compute the distance to the training records. Okay, so first from this unknown record, we will compute the distance to the training records. Different training records, we will compute the distance, right? Similarly, for all the training records, we will compute the distance. Next, we will have to identify the k nearest neighbors. Okay, I will erase this. So once you have computed the distance, next we will have to identify the k nearest neighbors. So here they have selected 3 nearest neighbors. Based on the distance, which are the 3 records which are close to the unknown record? Okay, so these are the nearest. Based on the distance, you will take 3 nearest points. Okay, so you will identify k nearest neighbors. So these are the 3 nearest neighbors here. K value is 3. Use the class label of the nearest neighbors to determine the class label of the unknown record by taking the majority vote. Okay, now we have here 3 nearest neighbors. Now based on the class label of this nearest neighbor, okay, we will classify this unknown record. Since over here all the 3 records are having class label plus, correct? All the neighbors, the class label is plus. Hence, we will assign a class label plus for this unknown record based on the nearest neighbors. Okay, so this is how we will classify the records based on the nearest neighbor classifier. Okay, we have a set of training records as well as we have this unknown record. Now we want to classify this unknown record. So first you will compute the distance between this unknown record and each of the other training records. Okay, once you have found the distance between the unknown record and the training records, all the training records, next you will identify the k nearest neighbors. Okay, in this example we have taken k is equal to 3, so we have to identify 3 nearest neighbors, and based on the class label of the nearest neighbors we will classify this unknown record. Here all the 3 neighbors have the class label plus, hence we will classify this unknown record as plus. Okay, so this was about the nearest neighbor classifier, how it works. Next, let us go through this algorithm of k nearest neighbor algorithm. So let k be the nearest number of nearest neighbors. Okay, let k be the number of nearest neighbors that you want to select. Okay, and d be the set of training examples. So d be the set of all the training records. Okay, first you have k, which is the number of nearest neighbors, and d is the set of training records. Now you want to classify this test example z is equal to x dash comma y dash. Okay, so you want to classify this test examples. To do so, you have first compute the distance dx dash comma x, the distance between z and every example. So first you have to compute the distance between the test example and every other example, correct? First you have to compute the distance between the test data and all the training records. Okay, next select dz, which is a subset of d. Okay, that is the set of k closest training examples to z. So once we have computed the distance between the test data and all other training records, next we have to select k closest nearest neighbors, right? K closest points we have to select. Okay, so next you have to select DZ, that is the set of k closest training examples to Z. Okay, now next we have to assign the class label to the test data, correct? That is, the class label y dash for the test data is calculated using this formula. Okay, arg max of v summation xi comma vi belongs to dz, I of v is equal to yi. Okay, so based on this formula we will assign the class label y dash for the test data set. Okay, after that you will end for. Okay, see, we'll concentrate on that formula now. So basically what we are doing in this algorithm, first we will, for a given test example, we will compute the distance between the test example and every other training record. Okay, so once we compute the distance, we will select the set of k closest training examples or k closest neighbors. Next we have to assign the class label for the test example based on the class labels of those k nearest neighbors. Okay, that we will see how to do. So once the nearest neighbor list is obtained, the test example is classified based on the majority class of its nearest neighbors. So based on the majority class of the nearest neighbors, okay, based on the majority class of the nearest neighbors, you will classify the test example. The test example is classified. So the majority voting is given by this formula. Y dash is equal to arg max of v summation xi comma yi belongs to dz. I is equal to I of v is equal to yi, where v is the class label. Okay, yi is the class label of one of the nearest neighbors. Okay, yi is the class label of one of the nearest neighbors. And I dot is an indicator function. Here I dot is an indicator function, okay, that returns the value 1. It will return the value 1, okay, if its argument is true, and 0 otherwise. Okay, so I is an indicator function which will return the value 1 if its arguments is true, or it will return 0. So here what you know, argmax will find the maximum voting, okay, based on the class labels of the nearest neighbors. Which class label has the maximum voting? Okay, that class label it will select for y dash. Okay, so based on the nearest, once you have selected the nearest neighbors, okay, the nearest neighbors will have the class labels. Okay, which class label will get the maximum voting? Okay, and this formula is used to calculate the maximum vote or majority voting of the nearest neighbors. So which class label gets the majority voting, that class label you will assign it to the test record. Okay, indicator function will return 1 if its argument is true, or else it will return 0. So using this formula we will calculate the majority voting of the class label, and that class label we will assign it to the test record. Next, we will see the definition of nearest neighbors. So, first here you see the k nearest neighbors. Okay, the k nearest neighbors of a training of a record X are the data points that have the k smallest distance to X. Okay, that has the data points that has k smallest distance to X. So here is an example of one nearest neighbor. So this X over here is the test data whom you want to classify. Okay, this so this X what you see over here is the test data whom you want to classify. Okay, this is an example of one nearest neighbor, correct? This is one. So this is one nearest neighbor. These are the two nearest neighbor. So this is an example of two nearest neighbors. Similarly, this is an example of three nearest neighbors. Okay, now here how you will calculate the nearest neighbor based on the closest point. See, for the test data, first you will find the distance between the test data and all training records, right? You will find the distance between the test data and all the training records. For one nearest neighbor, one closest point, okay, among all the distances between the training records, which is the closest distance, okay, that recorder will be the nearest neighbor. Okay, this is in the case of one nearest neighbor. Okay, for two nearest neighbors, so you will find the two closest points, okay, based on the distance, which is the two closest points for this test record you will find. And for three nearest neighbors, you will find the three nearest records, which is three nearest points, okay, three nearest points based on the distance you will find. So now suppose if I want to classify this test data X, okay, the nearest neighbor over here is having minus, okay, the class label of that nearest neighbor over there is minus. Now since I have only one nearest neighbor here and it is having a class label minus, so I will assign the class label of this test recorder is also minus. I will assign the class label as minus over here. Now come to this two nearest neighbor, okay, so k nearest neighbor, that value of k is the number of nearest neighbor. So over here k is 1 nearest neighbor, k is 2 over here, and finally over here k is 3. Okay, so for two nearest neighbor, you will find the two closest points. Next you have to assign the class label for this test data X. Now here if you see the neighbors, one is having a class label minus and one more is having a class label plus. So whether you have to assign class label minus or plus for this test data, which is the closest point, which is the closest neighbor. Closest neighbor is this, okay, and it is having a class label minus. So over here you will assign the class label minus for this test data. Okay, next you come to this three nearest neighbor. This is the test data and these are the three nearest points. Now which class label will you assign to X, whether you will assign plus or whether you will assign minus? In this case, among the 3 points, 2 are having class label plus, right? 2 are having class label plus. So you will assign the class label plus. So the majority of the class points are having class label. Majority of the points are having class label plus. Okay, so you will assign the class label for this test data as plus. Okay, because the majority points are having class label plus. So I hope it is understood how to assign the class label for the test data based on the nearest neighbors. Okay. Next, nearest neighbor classification. Now how you will choose the value of k? So what is the value of k? K is nothing but the number of nearest neighbors to select, correct? K is nothing but a number of nearest neighbors to select, right? Okay, k is nothing but the number of nearest neighbors to select. Now how you will choose the value of k? When you choose the value of k, okay, the value of k should not be too small. Okay, if the value of k is too small, then it is sensitive to noise points. Okay, and it might not classify the record properly. So if the value of k is too small, then it is sensitive to noise points and it might not classify the records properly. Next, if the value of k is too large, okay, if the value of k is very large, then the nearest neighbor classifier may misclassify the test instance. So carefully you should select the value of k. The value of k should not be too small nor it should be too large. Okay, so you should select the value of k very carefully. It should not be very small as well as it should not be very large. Okay, in both the cases it might misclassify. So next we will see the how to compute the distance between 2 points. So here the similarity measure in nearest neighbor classifier is we are calculating the distance between the test data as well as the training records. We are finding the distance between them. Correct? So to find the distance, we have three matrices over here. Euclidean distance, right? Euclidean distance, okay, Manhattan distance, and k norm distance. Okay, k norm distance. It is also called as Minkowski distance. Okay, so it is called as Minkowski distance. So these are the three distance matrices which we will use to calculate the distance. So Euclidean distance is given by this formula. Distance between p comma q is given by square root of summation pi minus qi the whole square. Okay, square root of summation pi minus qi the whole square. Manhattan distance is given by this formula, that is distance between p comma q is equal to summation of I, okay, mode of pi minus qi, okay, mode of pi minus qi. Minkowski distance between p comma q is given by summation of I mode of pi minus qi to the raise q, okay, to the power q whole to the power of 1 by q. Okay, so these are the three distance matrices used to calculate the distance between the test data and the training records. Next, let us consider this example of k nearest neighbor classifier. Okay, so this is an example of a tissue manufacturing company. Okay, so there are four types of tissues. Four types of tissues are there: type 1, type 2, type 3 and type 4. Okay, so based on the attributes, that is acid durability and strength, you will classify this tissue either as good or bad. Okay, so for the first type of tissue, okay, the first type, type 1, it has acid durability 7, okay, strength is 7, you will classify it as bad. Type 2 tissue, it has acid durability 7, strength is 4, okay, and you will classify it as bad. Type 3 tissue, it has acid durability 3, okay, and strength is 4, it has been classified as good. Okay, type 4 tissue, acid durability is 1, strength is 4, so the class label of this tissue is good. Okay, so these are the class labels of the training records. Okay, next there is this test data. Okay, there is this test data with acid durability 3, okay, and strength equal to 7. Okay, acid durability is 3, strength equal to 7. You want to classify this record whether it is good or whether it is bad. Okay, so whether it is good or whether it is bad, you want to classify this data. So first you will have to calculate the distance between this test data and the training records. Okay, so first we will calculate the distance between this test data and the training records. To calculate the distance, we will use this Euclidean distance formula. Okay, square root of summation qi minus pi the whole square. Okay, so for the first we will find the distance between the type 1 tissue, okay, type 1 record and the test data. So square root of here 7 minus 3, right? 7 minus 3 the whole square plus 7 minus 7, okay? 7 minus 7 the whole square, okay? So 7 minus 3 is, so it is like this, square root of so the first one is square root of, okay, square root of 7 minus 3 the whole square. One point is 7 and 3. 7 minus 3 the whole square plus 7 minus 7 the whole square, right? 7 minus 7 the whole square. Okay, what is 7 minus 3 the whole square? You will get 4 square plus 7 minus 7 the whole square is 0. So 4 square is 16. Square root of 16 is equal to 4. Okay, so that is the distance between the first training record and the test data. Same way you will calculate the distance between the other training records and the data. For example, here for the second training record, calculate the distance as 7 minus 3 the whole square. So 7 minus 3 the whole square plus 4 minus 7, okay, 4 minus 7 the whole square. 4 minus 7 the whole square. Okay, 7 minus 3 is 1 square, sorry, 4 square. 7 minus 3 is 4 square plus 4 minus 7 is 3 square. 4 square plus 3 square, you will get 25. Square root of 25 is 5. Okay, same way you will calculate the distance between this training record and the test data over here. 3 minus 3. Okay, so 3 minus 3 the whole square plus 4 minus 7 the whole square. Okay, 3 minus 3 is 0, 4 minus 7 is minus 3. Minus 3 square is 9. Square root of 9 is 3. So this is how you will calculate the distance between the training record and the test data. Okay, next once we have, so this is the distance, right? This is the distance that we have calculated. Next, once we have calculated the distance, we have to rank this distance. So the smallest distance is 3 here. You will give it a rank 1. The next smallest is 3.6. You will give rank 2. The next smallest is 4. You will give it a rank of 3. And finally the next smallest record is 4. So based on the distance, the smallest distance, in that order you will rank these records. Okay, so for this test data, okay, the first nearest neighbor is this one. Okay, this one is the first nearest neighbor. Okay, the second nearest neighbor is this. The third nearest neighbor will be 4, and finally the fourth nearest neighbor will be this one. Okay, so only one immediate nearest neighbor for k is equal to 1 means if the value of k is equal to 1, that is only one nearest neighbor means this is the neighbor that is selected, training record that is selected as the nearest neighbor. If the value of k is equal to 1, that is only one nearest neighbor. So if two immediate nearest neighbor means if the value of k is equal to 2, okay, that is two nearest neighbor means which are the two closest points, this record and this record you will select as the neighbors based on the distance. So if the value of k is equal to 3, that means 3 nearest neighbors means you will select the 3 closest points, this one, this one and this one as the neighbors. Okay, so this is how you will select the nearest neighbors. So this was an example for k nearest neighbor classifier. Okay, next let us briefly summarize this k nearest neighbor classifiers. So k nearest neighbor classifier, as we have already known, these are lazy learners. Okay, and it does not build models explicitly. So you have to remember that the k nearest neighbor classifier do not have explicit model. They do not construct explicit model. Okay, directly they will classify the test examples without building the model. Unlike eager learners such as decision tree induction and rule based system. So here decision tree induction and rule based system, as soon as they get the training data, they will construct the model. Okay, and then they will use that model to classify the test data. So here it is not that case. They will not construct the model to classify the test examples. Okay, and this classification of unknown records are relatively expensive. Okay, it is relatively very costly to classify the test records by using a k nearest neighbor classifier. Both in terms of time and cost, it is expensive. Okay, so this was about nearest neighbor classifiers. I hope you all have understood all the concepts. If there is any doubts, you all can ask me. Okay, thank you.